let's think about this in terms of, is there any significance biblically, and probably some of the greatest significance that we can think about. I want to be careful in this region down here. We can speculate about Petra. It's not named in the scripture, but in this region down here is where the Lord is going to return. So let me begin here in Matthew 24, and begin as Jesus is teaching the Olivet Discourse. So verse 15, therefore when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, so that's 3.5 years into the tribulation, whoever reads, let him understand. And let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who's on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house. Let him who is in the fields not go back to get his clothes. But woe to those who are pregnant, to those who are nursing babies in those days. I pray that your flight may not be in winter or on Sabbath, but then there will be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. So they're going to be up in Jerusalem. The Antichrist is going to manifest himself, and then the warning that the Lord gives is you're going to have to flee. And he says, and this will be like any other days that have happened. Those days have never happened. Those are still days that are yet to come. So that's Matthew 24, and beginning at verse 15. Let's then go to go to Revelation 12. And this is like an expansion here. John expands upon the persecution that's going to happen in the last days. So beginning to read verse 13. Now when the dragon saw things happening to the earth, persecuted the woman and gave birth to a son, Israel. The woman was given great wings of a great eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness to her place, where she is nourished for times, and half a time. How long is that? 3.5 years. Okay. In the presence of the serpent. So the serpent spewed water out of his mouth like a flood after the woman, that it might cause her to be carried away by the flood. But the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon had spewed out of his mouth. And the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went to make war with the rest of her offspring, who keep the commandments of God and have a testimony of Jesus Christ. So wherever they went to, the earth provided a special protection for them. The Antichrist could not get to them, and so he turns away from following and goes to persecute the others. So here's where, again, it's speculation, right? That this city comes in. So as we were coming down, for those of you that weren't there, I've showed us a little video of a flash flood that they had right when you started to come down into the sea, and how that day there was, like, say, 4,000 down in here, and they all were safe. They had warning, they had advance notice, and they were able to get out of the way. So you can just allow your minds to work of what may happen, but the protection that this provided many civilizations may in the last days provide civilization as well. So you can't say specifically this spot, but geographically, you know you're close. So what have we been saying? If it's not here,
it's near.
It's not here, it's near, okay? So the next passage I want to take you to, let's go to Isaiah 16. So this is verse 1. Send the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah. That's not far away. It's very close. To the wilderness, to the mount of daughter Zion. For it shall be as a wandering bird thrown out of the nest, so shall be the daughters of Moab at the fords of Arnon. Take counsel, execute judgment, make your shadow like the night in the middle of the day. Here it is, listen. Hide the outcast, do not betray him who escapes. Let my outcast dwell with you, O Moab, be a shelter to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. Devastation ceases, the oppressors are consumed out of the land, and mercy, the throne will be established, and one will sit on it in truth, the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking justice and hastening righteousness. So we get a little timestamp of when those things are going to take place. The word is to Moab, to receive in. Okay, another passage, chapter 63, Isaiah 63, and we'll read beginning at verse 1, a few verses. Who is this who comes from Edom? So this is where we are, okay? This is down in Edom. This is a passage that's talking about somebody's coming up from this location. And if you'll remember our reading there in Revelation 19, and how similar the language was to somebody trotting in the winepress. Listen to this again. Geographical area, not here near. Who is this who comes from Eden with dyed garments from Basra? Again, how far from here? 40 kilometers. So we're in this general area. And it doesn't, I mean, as I think about it, that might be where the armies are. That might not be where the people that are hiding out are. Just a thought. Who is this who comes from Eden with dyed garments from Basra? The one who is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. There's not many people that can take that description on, is there? Why is your apparel red and your garments like one who treads in the winepress? Can't help but to think of Lucille Ball, Lucy, treading the wine grapes, right? And if you haven't seen it, look it up. But they're going around, and that job would cause all the color of the grapes to be all over the garments. It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and from the peoples no one was with me. For I have trodden them in my anger and trampled them in my fury. Their blood is sprinkled upon my garments, and I have stained all my robes. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. Again, this is some pretty specific language that is giving us a timestamp about what the prophet Isaiah is referring to. I looked, but there was no one to help, and I wondered that there was no one to uphold. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation to me, my own fury. It sustained me. One more passage. So, at the end of time, the Antichrist is going to be fighting and persecuting. He's going to have world domination. But there's going to come a point at the end where people are like, we are sick of you. And there's going to be nations that come to fight against the Antichrist. He's going to be down in the south. So I'm reading from Daniel 11, verse 40. At that time of the end, at your timestamp, the king of the south shall attack him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind with chariots, horsemen, with many ships, and he shall enter the countries, overwhelm them, and pass through. He shall also enter the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. Here it is. But these shall escape from his hand: Edom, Moab, and the prominent people of Ammon. He shall stretch out his hand against the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. So the point is, at the end of the days, as the Antichrist is persecuting and causing havoc around the world, there is some places he will not be able to overcome. And that's in the wilderness of Moab and Edom. And Jesus told them to flee to the mountains. Now, sometimes we think, oh, flee to the mountains. And actually, somebody recently asked this question, well, flee to the mountains. I thought that's the, it's out in the desert. Well, as you can see, they go together. Right? Mountains and desert can go together. So I think the most important thing that I would say, rather than simply fixating as the persecuted Jews hanging out here, although I believe it's really possible, the most important thing for us to realize is you're down in the area that God's word said the Antichrist will not prevail over. It's a place where he told these people to receive in his children, and it's a place he comes from with his garments dyed. And again, the distance from this area down up to Megiddo is almost exactly how, I forget the furlongs that are mentioned in Revelation, but if you count out the furlongs, put them in the distance as the crow flies, the battle is up in Megiddo. The second coming of the Lord is happening here. It's up in Megiddo, and it culminates where? Where's the climax? The Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. You guys following that? Any questions about that? Just allow your mind to kind of work over these things, study them, see if they be true. I think when you come to passages like this, you want to ask, has this been fulfilled before? And you also want to ask, is this talking about the Lord? Or is it talking about Israel? And is there anything that gives us a timestamp about when these things will take place? And you can go study these passages.
Thank you.
So now, here we will give you now free time, because after 45 minutes we should start going back, because 10:30. Now, in the meanwhile, we would like to ride the camel here, take a tour or take a photo. If you like